Hey guys, Red X here. Today we are doing part 2 of season 2 of Power Rangers Phantom Thieves vs Delta Squadron. Okay, season 2, part 2. Anyway, I know, it sucked. Well, I don't care. Let's go on to the video. As you all know, in our last video, we introduced the debut of Ranger X, or Benjamin Kamori, Shadow of the Spotlight, Power Ranger Silver, Officer of the Shining Sun, Delta X Gold. Now let's do this. Episode 17, A Snake to Victory. This is the debut of our adaptation of Hamid Sky Metal from Key Ranger and the Victory Striker, which is now the Victory Fire Zord. And the name for Hamid Sky Metal is known as Viper. This is where that, if you remember, like our last video I did, you saw the debut of the Victory Fire on season 1. So this is like a return debut. Episode 18, Back in a Flash. This is where we get to see Cassie Cooper have her own little mini-Zord known as the Flashpoint. Get it? Flashpoint as in from the comic series Flashpoint? Yeah, this was inspired by the time where Flash went back in time and changed reality. And this is where we found out Cassie had a new Delta trigger when she was a little girl, before she joined the Delta Squad Police Force. Took face against it, and now a gang leader known as Speed Demon, which you know from the Spider-Man arc, has returned to face against the Delta Rangers in Jump City. Episode 19, A Demon Within. This is where we get to see John Constantine coming to Gotham City to help Raph, who is turning into an out-of-control demon monster. And this is where we get to find out she is controlled by her grandfather, Trigon. Since you know, Raph is the daughter of Raven, meaning Trigon would have been Raph's grandfather. And this is where we get to see Hector battling Raph. This is where that part, I had that part from the episode from Lupin Ranger vs. Pat Ranger, where Lupin had to face against his best friend, but not really, because his best friend's mind is ended up in the monster's body, and the monster ended up in his friend's body, so yeah. Episode 20, yeah, that's what I meant, episode 20. Looks Matter. This is where we get to see a bit of Max Drew handling a group of mobsters on his own, which turns him into a cyborg. Well, not turns him into a cyborg, but he becomes a cyborg when his whole entire body became scorched and, yeah, you know, gross, melting off. So, the Delta Squad Police Force was able to use some cybernetic parts to make him indestructible, to restore his flesh and bones with more effects. Episode 21, Return of Red Sapphire. This is where we get to see Red Sapphire, aka Nora Isley, returns with the Neo Chaco clan to get her revenge on Hector's family. And this is where we get to see the gangler known as King Shark. You know King Shark. You know from that Harley Quinn anime series. Yeah, that's him, the King Shark. And they were able to, and the Lupin Collection piece is the Wolf Spider's mask. And not to mention the new Megazord combination is with the Victory Fire, taking the Red Dot Fire's place to form the Victory Eve Megazord version 2. We'll see version 1 at other times. Episode 22, which is known as Space Squad, which is that Captain Chaku has returned to Earth on another dimension to help the Delta Rangers face against an evil galactic criminal known as Q-Rex. Then we got episode 23, which is Space Squad Part 2. This is where we get to see Bridge Carson, the new Red SP Ranger, coming to Multi-Earth to help Captain Chaku with Cassie Delta Red and Ben Delta Gold take down Q-Rex. And not to mention, we also get to see the Phantom Rangers helping the Space Squad take down Q-Rex with the Flashpoint Delta Trigger and the Music Buster Doubtfire. Then we got episode 24, which is Two Mothers, One Max. This is where we get to see Max's childhood. You guys remember about Max's parents, which are Jessica Cruz from aka the Green Lantern, and Jessica Drew, the Ultimate Spider-Woman. The reason why I chose these to make up the idea of Max Drew, because I love the character of Jessica Drew on DC Superhero Girls Generation 2, because it's my favorite. I'm so glad. I'm kind of glad I decided to make this like perfect, because this shows a lot of history on Max's. Like, he has no idea who his father is, but yeah, he's been living with two mothers in his whole time. Episode 25, A Day Without Lola. This is where we get to see the Phantom Rangers facing against a new Ranger Slayer known as the Shard Master, while Lola heads back to New York City to visit his twin brothers and father. This is where we get to see Phantom Red using Dual Striker, or Good Striker from Lupin Ranger vs. Pat Ranger, and Raph using the Cyclone Spinner, and Phantom using his Rolex Saber to take down the Shard Master and recover a Lupin Collection, the Zeo Crystal. Then we got episode 26, which is titled Freedom. This is where we get to see the Phantom Rangers and the Delta Rangers working together to take down the mobsters and safers who are trying to steal some type of container which holds someone frozen inside. And that container holds the body of Nora Freeze, the wife of Mr. Freeze. Well, this is where we get to see Cassie and Hector piloting the Victory Fire and the return of the Siren Tumbler. But by recovering Nora Freeze's body, she has become a gangler to take down the Power Rangers to avenge his fallen husband. Then we got episode 27, which is When I Make It Shine. This is where we get to see the debut of the Red Victory Ranger and the Rel X Megazord. Not to mention that Nora Freeze has become a gangler known as Frostbite to avenge his, yet again, fallen husband. episode 28, which is Heated Up. This is where we get to learn about Cassie Cooper's hobby when she returns home from the Delta Squad police force. She plays guitar for a living to help her calm down, but now that she becomes furious, she has to head to Jump City to help the other Delta Rangers face against Red Sapphire. Oh, and you remember that episode on Beast Morphers where that Ravi had been heated up and turned on his friends? Yeah, this is what happened to Cassie too. And then they were able to take down Red Sapphire, and then we get to see Cassie enjoying music. Then we got episode 29, which is Comics Day. This is where we get to see the Phantom Rangers helping Lola set up for her little booth for her Phantom Thief comic manga. Yeah. I kind of like it how I made Lola into like a writer because, not to mention, I am a writer myself. And this is where we get to see the debut of the gangster known as the Eraser, a dumb villain for Batman. Sorry, I paused for a minute because I was reading the whole thing. Episode 30, which is Secrets and Takeovers, Part 1. This is where we get to see the debut of the Galactic Ganglers. Yep, yet again, another group of ganglers. This is where we get to see Ben's childhood, known as Ben Kamori, or we all know as Ben Riley, since he changed his name to Kamari to keep his identity a secret since the whole world thought he was dead. And the Huntress. They were both murdered by the Kingpin. And they hired Alice to take care of Ben if anything happened to them. Then we got episode 31, which is Secrets and Takeovers Part 2. This is where we get to see the Jackal with a new group of gangler goons known as Spider Mobs facing against the Phantom Rangers and the Delta Rangers in Gotham City. Then we got the finale, episode 32, Secrets and Takeovers Part 3. This is where we get to see the debut of the Dare Express Ultra Zord, where all 7 Rangers combine their Zords to take down the Jackal and the Galactic Ganglers for good. And that's it. We reached through the entire episode. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30. 31 and 32. So, yeah. We have finally finished Part 2 of Season 2 of Power Rangers Phantom Thieves vs. Delta Squadron. That's a